we are going to go over how to change fractions to percents to decimals and vice versa. Percents to fractions to decimals, and decimals to fractions and percents. We've already talked about changing fractions to decimals and decimals to fractions. When you go from a fraction to a decimal, all you do for this is divide. So remember, whenever you want to take 1/2 and change it to a decimal, use TIVO. Top number inside, bottom number outside. 2 can't go into 1. Put your decimal and a 0. 2 goes into 10 5 times. So 1/2 equals 0.5 as a decimal. And whenever you go from a decimal to a fraction, all you do is place over as many zeros as the number. So if I give you 0.6, you have one number, so you're going to put 6, make it a whole number, over, and then you have one number here, so I'm going to put 1 0 and a 1 in front of it. So 0.6 is 6 over 10, which we can divide that by 2, top and bottom, which gives me 3 over 5. So if I give you 0.01, I have, making it a whole number, 1 over 1, 2 numbers, we put 2 zeros with a 1 in front of it. So that's something that we've already talked about, and you talked about in previous years. This time we're going to talk about decimals and percents and fractions and percents. So we're going to be adding this percent to our repertoire. So the easiest ones are really when we go from a decimal to a percent. And it's because we're going to move the decimal 2 places to the right. So when I look at this, if I have a decimal of 0.54, I'm going to move that decimal 2 places to the right, so 1, 2, making it 54%. So if I give you 0.102, I'm going to move it still 2 places, 1, 2, leaving me with 10.2%. If I give you 1.5, I'm going to move it 2 places, 1, 2, leaving me with 150, because I got to put a 0 here, percent. And to go from a percent to a decimal, I got to work backwards. So if I moved it 2 places to the right, this time I'm going to move the decimal 2 places to the left. So this time I'm going to say something like 15%. The decimal isn't seen because it's right here, 1, 2, leaving me with 0.15. If I give you 106%, 1, 2 gives me 1.06. If I give you 5%, 1, 2, I got to put a 0 here, so it's going to be 0.05 for my decimal. When I'm going from a percent to a fraction, percent to a fraction, I'm going to place the percent over 100, always over 100, and then simplify. Always over 100, so not as many zeros as needed, always over 100. So if I said, let's say 74%, I'm going to put 74 over 100, and then I'm going to simplify by dividing by 2, which will give me 37 over 50. If I would give you 136%, I'm going to put 136 over 100, and then I'm going to simplify, which is going to, divided by 4, which is going to give me 34 over 25. If I say 72.8, I'm still going to put 72.8 over 100. When I simplify this, I'm going to get 91 over 125. If you notice, it went up because when you have a decimal, it is going to get higher to try to get that decimal away. But you can have a decimal on top, and when you simplify it, it's trying to figure out what goes into top and bottom, and since it's a decimal answer, it's going to take getting higher. And the last one is to go from a fraction to a percent. And what you do is you say the fraction equals percent over 100. So the way it works, if I say 4/5, I'm going to say 4/5 equals the percent. I'm going to use x over 100, cross multiply. 4 times 100 makes 400. 5 times x makes 5x. Divide both sides by 5. And I'm left with 80%. So if I give you 7 over 18, I'm going to say 7 over 18 equals x. I'm going to use x for that percent over 100. 7 times 100 makes 700. 18 times x makes 18x. Divide by 18, and I'm left with 38.8, repeating, percent. You can have a decimal as a percent. Hopefully this helps you out a little bit. Write down these notes, copy them if you want. Pause it right now and print your screen. But we are going to do some examples on this. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Hopefully this helped you understand it a little better. And I will see you next time.